Hello everybody, I'm going to go to the OCI console and grab the IP address of the operator and the Bastion server. So in this video, we're going to quickly see how to connect to through the VNC server and also update the Weblogic server and access Weblogic Toolkit Ui, and then update the jdbc connection and check the Kubernetes cluster. So the first thing first, we need to open the SSH tunneling from the operator to Bastion, because operator is on the private network, and to access the VNC server uh, of the operator, we need to do an SSH tunneling. So the first one is the IP address of the Bastion, and the second one is the private IP address of the operator. So let's start it up. You can see it's successfully connected, and I think the SSH is open now. So the next thing, what you're going to do is, yeah, quickly, I'm going to just tell you that, I'm just passing the private key, and the port is 5901 where the VNC server is running. That is the IP address of the Bastion server, which is public, and tunneling is for the operator, which is at the private IP. So let me open the VNC server viewer, and I will just put in localhost and 5901, and I should be able to get the login screen. Quickly, I'm going to check. Yeah. So the GUI is installed through the Terraform, so we are accessing the operator. So it's the first welcome page. So I'm going to go to the application and open the Firefox. So the provisioning script also starts the admin server, WebLogic admin server. So I can quickly go and open the WebLogic console. So the WebLogic username is WebLogic, and the password is welcome1, as we have given it in our Terraform script. So the first thing that we need to do is we have an application deployed which uses a jdbc connection. We need to update it with the DB system that we created. We need to go and fetch the PDB for the DB system and update the service name as well as the IP. So I'm going to quickly go and find the PDB and get the DB connection. Yeah. So I'm going to click on show, and I should be able to get the service name. So I'm going to go back to VNC, go and search the database, data source. And go to connection pool and update the service name. The next thing I need to do is I need to get the IP address of the node. So the IP address of the node where the database is running, and then update it in the jdbc URL. The next thing I need to do is the username. The user is sysadmin by default, and I'll grab the password from the Terraform script, which I passed during runtime. And update the password. So the database connection is established. So in the background, the port and the security list, everything is updated in the Terraform, so you don't have to worry. And also the node manager is up and running for this on this machine, so you can quickly go to control and start the managed servers. Since there is an application called employees deployed on this, we're just going to wait for the managed server to come up. And now it's up, so I'm going to just duplicate it. I know the URL, so I'm going to quickly change the port of the managed server and the context root of the application, which is employee, and the JSP page, which is welcome.jsp. So the data is coming from the new database, which is provisioned. So this is the details. So this is our on-prem all set up now. We have WebLogic and 2 managed server and an application and a database jdbc data source that's all working. So now I'm going to go and open the terminal and check whether I'm able to connect to the Kubernetes through the control panel. So I'm able to connect it. I'll just do and get all namespace. So I'm able to connect. That's working. So the next thing I need to do is I'm going to go and open the Weblogic Kubernetes Toolkit. So you need to type in the command WKTUi. So that will open the user interface. And first thing first, I'm going to go to the project setting and then go and change the JDK path. So I'm going to go and open and find the installer. So that will be under the installer file. It's under the installer folder. And JDK, yes. And the next thing I want to do is I want the Oracle Home. Now, Oracle Home is already there while installing the WebLogic server. You need the WebLogic installation on the box where the WKT is running. WKTUi is running. And everything's fine. And also I'll make the credential store policy as no store. I don't want to store anything at the moment. So I'm going to click on that and then go to file and do save all, save as. So I'll go to the WLS folder and I'll create a new folder called WKTUi. And I'll create a new file, project file called base domain, which is the WebLogic domain name. You can give any name. So that is done. So I'll go to the Kubernetes and quickly check the connection. So I didn't do any changes, so everything is default, and you can see that the Kubernetes cluster is running. So now we have the